This is Brett Waltemath of Star Watch Media here at Cafe Entourage in Hollywood, California for the pre-release party of the documentary Fools on the Hill. Mr. Williams, Brett with Star Watch Media. We're here for the pre-release party of Fools on the Hill, a very fascinating documentary dealing with a very, very difficult topic. What's your opinions not only on the documentary, but the topic as well?
I mean, you saw me laugh initially when you said difficult because I learned a lot today. You know, I had certainly heard whispers of this type of thing in the past as far as, you know, things not being read before they were signed or looked at, but it was disconcerting and very awkward. You know, it made me think about my own life, renter's agreements, things like that I don't take the time to read. I think the most important thing that I got out of it is that public should have access. You know, I love the idea of 48 hours before something gets signed, the public has access to actually go in and read it if they want to. You know, if other people aren't going to read it, men and women in our Congress, at least the public should have an opportunity to.
And even one very difficult aspect, I think, I haven't seen the screening yet, so I'm not sure if it addresses it, but also the difficulty even in the writing, the fact that a lot of these bills are written by lawyers, so even for an intelligent human being, even if you were to read it, they're very difficult to even understand then.
Yeah, I mean, they had the clip on, you know, from C-SPAN where they were in the film, because I watched the 10-minute preview where they were, you know, so they had a stack of 1,000 pages in his hand, and he's exclaiming to everyone else in the room, look, nobody in here, including myself, is going to read this. That's pretty sad. And he threw it down, you know. The fact that they are that long, and the fact that they don't make one of people read them because they're that long, there's a little bit of manipulation in there that, like I said, is disconcerting. But this type of film is exactly what's needed, you know, to make people aware that this is going on.
And also surprising, too, and we're all to blame for it, that a huge portion of the population is not aware of the fact that politicians don't have to read these bills before voting on them as well.
I know. I mean, it just goes to show that you have to wake up, you know, and I think that's a great thing about social media and mass media nowadays is there is the opportunity now for people to go out and find this type of stuff and then post it wherever, Facebook, Twitter, wherever. Look, if you really want to know what's going on in your country, all you got to do is open your eyes, you know. A lot of times we're forced to run around like chickens without heads trying to make a buck. And if we turned around and actually made a concerted effort to see what was really going on, it might not be so hard to make a buck.
Current projects for you that you're currently working on?
Yeah, I just finished shooting a show called Bullet in the Face in Montreal. 6 episodes, going to air starting next August on IFC. Co-stars Eric Roberts and Eddie Izzard. Very exciting, very, very exciting.
And what's the basic premise of the show? And your character as well?
Basic premise of the show, I play an assassin, the best assassin in a town called Bruteville, that I like to describe as a mix of modern-day Detroit mixed with, say, turn-of-the-century, 20th century London. And Eddie Izzard and Eric Roberts play mobsters, and something happens to my character as an assassin that forces him to then work for the cops.
Okay. Your first time playing an assassin?
First time playing an assassin, yes. Not
what was that like?
You know, it's a comedy, so it's a dark comedy, but it's an interesting mindset to get into. I mean, I don't want to get too, you know, actory about it, but it's certainly a shut-off valve within you as you're going through the process of what it would take to live that sort of life. And it's a little bit monstrous, to be perfectly honest, to think about doing that kind of thing.
Your experience shooting up in Montreal, how was your experience up there?
It was amazing. You know, I was really fortunate to go back to the city of my birth. It's a very special city, very much like Europe. It's sort of the Europe of North America, and even more so Quebec, which is 2.5 hours north, Quebec City. But Montreal's a great city, a lot of walking, so I got to appreciate that, and just breathing fresh air, to be perfectly honest. People are really warm. It was amazing.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for the time. Enjoy the evening. Happy holidays to you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.